that the ruling of the chair squarely falls under Rule 6, so that a member of the chamber can bring it to a vote on the floor?
Anybody who wants to...
Senator Arroyo was seeking the floor, Mr. President.
the gentleman from Makati and Bicol.
It's a different matter. So, maybe move to suspend the trial for a few minutes, Mr. President.
Trial suspended.
Ang trial para pag-usapan nila, no, magkokoko sila dito sa lumiham kasi itong si Senadora Miriam Defensor Santiago. Kahapon absent siya ng pagdesisyonan itong pagpapasampina sa 2 bank accounts ng mga Corona. So dito sa kanyang sulat, gusto niya na bigyan siya ng pagkakataon para i-explika yung boto niya patungkol sa issue na ito.
Ang hinihingi ni Senator Miriam din ay mabigyan ang bawat panig ng 1 oras para i-prove yung kanilang posisyon o yung kanilang argumento. 1 hour daw for both sides, and then susulat daw po ng memorandum at saka pagdidesisyonan uli ng body. Attorney Joey, anong nakikita mong nangyayari ngayon? Mukhang merong desisyon kahapon at nabanggit nga ni Senator Drilon, tumayo on point of order si Senator Cheese, at mukhang ang pinag-uusapan ba natin dito ay final decision na gustong i-revive or gustong pag-usapan muli ni Senator Santiago?
Siguro mas maganda na let's take a step back at suriin natin yung sitwasyon. Ano? Ang pinag-uusapan dito ay yung motion or petition for the issuance of a subpoena na ginrant ng Senado. Ngayon, itong panig ng depensa humihingi ng motion or gustong magsubmite ng motion for reconsideration ng decision to issue a subpoena for the bank records. Tumayo ngayon si Senator Cheese on a point of order at sinasite niya yung rules of impeachment ng Senado. Ayon sa rules of impeachment ng Senado, ang pwede lamang na humingi ng motion for reconsideration ng order ng presiding justice ay ang isang senator judge. Okay? At since wala namang senador kahapon na tumatayo para humingi ng reconsideration ng desisyon ni Senate President Enrile, ang lumalabas ay walang valid na reconsideration na hinihingi. Gayong itong si Defense Counsel Justice Cuevas ay tumayo para sabihin motion for reconsideration, Your Honor, at humihingi kami ng pagbabago ng inyong kaisipan at ito ang aming mga dahilan. Ngayon, ang tanong dito is, meron ditong parte sa rules ng impeachment, yung Rule 6 ng Senado, na sinasabing the provisions of the rules of the Senate and the revised rules of court shall apply suppletorily whenever applicable. Ibig sabihin, ito'y magiging karagdagan na basihan kung paano i-conduct ng Senado itong impeachment trial.
Pero mukhang, Attorney Joey, ang hindi lamang rules of court and rules of the impeachment trial pinag-uusapan, mukhang for this particular case, mukhang nagiging factor yung internal rules ng Senado on a voting matter. Mukhang dinadala nila dun sa issue na ang pwede lamang mag-question is yung senador na bumoto for a motion, siya ang pwede humingi. At yung ni-raise ni Senator
Santiago.
Senator Ping Lacson ay sinasabi niyang wala naman dito kahapon si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Ano ang tingin mo, epekto ng absence mismo nitong humihingi ng reconsideration?
Dahil kasi nagkaukus ang Senado kahapon, hindi ba? Pinag-usapan at mukhang nagkaroon naman sila ng kasunduan na i-approve nila kung ano man ang desisyon na pinopropose sa kanila ni Senate President Enrile. At ang sinasabi kahapon is merong 16 naman na sumang-ayon na senador. In fact, there could have been more, pero parang huminto na yung pirmahan dahil yung iba, wala doon. Yung iba naman sabi ay may majority na eh. So, hindi na kailangan yung pirma namin. So, sa ganong paraan, parang meron ng suporta ng majority ng senator judges doon sa desisyon ni Senate President Enrile.
Pero absent sinasabi niya, lumiliham siya na pwede siyang dumating, just give her 3 hours lead time, at para ma-explica niya yung kanyang pananaw patungkol dito. Under the rules, pwede ba yun?
Well, ito ang medyo komplikado, ano? Dahil ang katanungan dito is, sige, hayaan natin na magkaroon ng diskusyon tungkol dun sa motion for reconsideration. Pero ang tanong dito is, in practical terms, mababago ba yung botohan?
Yes.
Magkakaroon ba ng 16 na boto ang Senado pa rin pag nagdiskusyon si Senate Miriam Santiago?
Nag-resume na ang hearing at madidesisyonan itong bagay na ito pabalik sa kanilang mga upuan ng ating mga senator judges at nakakuha tayo ng kopya. Kopya po ito ng media. The letter signed by Senator Santiago is dated today.
The chair would like to make a statement about this matter. The chair is not prepared to make a ruling on this today. Anyway, the witnesses expected to appear in this hearing based on the summonses that were issued on the basis of the ruling of this impeachment court yesterday afternoon would appear before us tomorrow afternoon in the trial. And so therefore, the chair would not make a ruling either to deny or to sustain the motion and give the senator that made this motion a chance to be heard, and a ruling will be made tomorrow before a witness will be called to the witness stand. So ordered.
Mr. President, may I suggest a caucus of the court at 12 noon in the office of the Senate President conference room.
Beg your pardon?
We suggest a caucus to be called by the Senate President in the conference room of the Senate President's office tomorrow at 12 noon and to inform all the senators of this caucus.
If that's the pleasure of the impeachment court, the chair has no objection. Instead of a plenary discussion of the issue, then let's take it in a caucus before we open the session of the impeachment court in the afternoon. And so therefore I announce that a caucus will be held tomorrow noon at 12 o'clock on this particular issue.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So we now, may we recognize Senator Joker Arroyo, Mr. President.
Senator Joker, the senator from Makati and Bicol.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to address a question to the prosecution. Many sessions ago, I asked the prosecution whether the House is contemplating on filing another impeachment case, this time against a justice of the Supreme Court. The lead prosecutor answered that no, they do not have any plans. But this morning, we were informed that yes, the House, or rather the House Committee on Justice, has taken up the question of the issue of impeaching a justice by vote of I don't know what, and that is how it stands. Now, may I know from the prosecution, from the chairman of the Committee on Justice, whether that information is correct? That is, we'd like to know, because, you know, the Senate is burdened by this impeachment case. And as I explained some sessions ago, it's kind of, you know, burdensome to have two sessions or two impeachment being heard side by side. So we would welcome whatever the chairman can give us.
Yes, Your Honor, we were asked a few sessions ago by the Honorable Senator Arroyo about the impeachment complaint pending with the Committee on Justice, and this representation has stated that there's one pending impeachment complaint. It was filed December of 2010. And that is the impeachment against Supreme Court Associate Justice Mariano del Castillo. This morning, Your Honors, we had a hearing, and the Committee on Justice voted on the sufficiency of the grounds for impeachment, meaning the committee determined that the complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment by a vote of 27 in favor, 4 against, and 1 abstention. Following the rules of impeachment of the House of Representatives, we will have to set a hearing in the committee level. Probably 2 or 3 hearings. We will hear the complainant, we'll hear the respondent, and then the committee will set a hearing to determine whether there is a probable cause. And if there's probable cause, or even if there's no probable cause, the committee has to make a report, and this is subject to approval by the House in the plenary. Meaning, we acted this morning because we only had 5 session days left. The Constitution provides that we have to finish the committee deliberation within 60 session days, and we acted on that because that is the mandate under the Constitution. Your Honors, what will happen here with the Del Castillo impeachment complaint is that we are given 10 session days if the committee will find probable cause next week or the week after next, 10 session days to put this in the calendar of business. And if we transmit, assuming we transmit it to the plenary in the House will have 60 session days to decide. So meaning, as chairman, I cannot say if the decision would be for impeachment. Because as of now, the decision is only finding the complaint, it's just that we determine that the complaint alleges sufficient grounds for impeachment. So on the next voting on probable cause, I wouldn't know, Your Honor. So it's too premature for the chairman to say whether indeed the committee will impeach the Associate Justice Del Castillo. But with the concerns raised by the Honorable Senator, we have discussed this with the leadership of the House, and it will be taken into consideration that the leadership will be mindful on the concerns that to impeachment, an article of impeachment would be transmitted to the Senate. I think it's a consideration that will be taken into account by the House because we know how burdensome it is for just one impeachment trial before the Senate, Your Honor.
We cannot control the House. The Senate cannot, and we do not mean to give even our views on how the House would conduct its impeachment proceedings. Well, of course, we're apprehensive that if the first course, or rather the second course, that is, that if you collect two-thirds votes of the members, then it will be immediately transmitted to the Senate in the same manner as the one of Chief Justice Corona. Of course, we're worried about that because then suddenly it will be thrown into our lap and that's it, you know. And then while the contribution will be, the House will be sending here a prosecution team, the entire Senate will have to attend to that. So that is the problem. But we just want to know because we have a concern about that. And you know, as I said before, I've been member of the House. I've liked the House. I've served it long. I hope you don't make a cottage industry of impeachment. I talk as a former member with sympathies for because it's not easy for that for us also here. Thank you very much.
Just if I may, Your Honor.